So I thought the pavers were ready to be placed, but I found out that the foundation is not exactly flat. This is decomposed granite, which is made up of small stones and granite sand. But there's a little bit of hills which you can't see from this camera angle. A little bit of hills. That's not good for laying pavers. So you can already see a gap while I lay one paver out there, and you can see the hills on this side. So I'm gonna add maybe about half an inch of sand here, a very fine sand, to make sure that the foundation is pretty much exactly flat with no such hills like that. So to make it flat, I'm going to use this 3/4 inch electrical conduit that you can get in any home center, either Lowe's or Home Depot. Since I already got the height that I need with the granite, I need to dig this a little bit deeper. So I'm going to just dig a really small trench with a finger and put the pipe in, both of these pipes in. So I ended up using just a piece of wood basically to build this trench in here. So once I build the trench all the way, I'm going to put the pipe in so that about half an inch is exposed up from the level of the granite. So there it is, trenched in, maybe about half an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. I want it to peek out, so I'll have that kind of half an inch and 1/4 of an inch bedding sand that I'm going to put on top of this. You will see. Any excess sand that we have, I'm just using this wood to make sure that I pick up all the loose sand, because it's going to be about half an inch of finer sand on top of this, like this. So now I have leveled this up. You can see the water is going to go this way, away from the house foundation, and also over here the water is going to go this way into the yard if there's any accumulation. Next, I'm gonna put in this paver sand on top of this. This is supposed to go about 1 inch, but I don't need to. I just need to flatten it out on top of my existing decomposed granite. So I'm gonna put about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, because I just want to flatten it out. And in order to flatten it out, the critical thing is to remember is to use something finer sand than what is the decomposed granite is offering. So I put the sand in, dumped it in. I'm going to use the other side of the rake and use the guide rail now, see, to roughly level the sand as much as I can. Now once I spread out the sand with the rake, I'm going to use a 2x4 and use these guide rails that I put in, just slide along the guide lane, and I'll get a nice smooth surface because I'm using a solid guide rail to smoothen out. Like this. Now my foundation is much better. It's much flatter. There are no small hills like I showed you earlier. It's this method lets you not only just flatten it with fine sand, but also lets you level it in whichever direction you want, just with the help of these electric conduit pipes.